Okay, it's Guy Lone Eagle, and we're going into part 4 of the crossing over topic. And I am with the Renewable Wisdom Trails Library, which is basically a lifetime of gathering of information, not just me, but other people. I'm just being the one that's presenting, and so we're in this crossing over process, and the first 3 videos or parts, we're starting to move into what the gathering stage is of the era or the fire of the process from going from one form into another. We've been talking about the signal part, when it's signaling that the end is near and there's a time to start prioritizing values, getting affairs in order. Some people rely on the legal system to do this, and making of wills and estates, trusts, so forth and so forth. Other people rely on their religions. And this can be highly controversial because a lot of people don't practice what their religion tells them to practice.
Okay.
And then they get into their death spiral and they have a lot of remorse about that and regret because they really don't have the faith in death. They don't have the faith that the judgment day or the justice is around the corner. They're totally in fear of that because most of that imprinting had a right or wrong kind of thing to it. You're either going to go to heaven or hell. Well, in the natural world, there's no such thing. That's made up. You just move on to another form. The hell is the process that you have to go through. It's the emotional turmoil of realizing that your life is going to change. And it has to go on to another form. So hell's more of a metaphor of the emotional suffering that you have to go through to let go of the body. It's not a place, so to speak. Heaven is not a place. It's a pleasure. It's an emotional joy. And most of that, at least from my witnessing, is from people coming to the place of realizing how much mystery that has all been around them all the time without them taking advantage of it. And just coming into that glory of what all the gifts life was all about, like the ability to talk, the ability to walk, the ability to breathe. Those are privileges that they had been taken for granted until all of a sudden their body can't do it. These are really important things. But a lot of the cases that I've had to deal with, they come to that place and their faith and their religion don't always work for them. And they really go through a struggle of having to find the beliefs, find their contracts, find their stuff that is keeping them from being in a harmonious transition. So that takes counseling, that takes therapy, that takes a lot of discussions, maybe some walk talks out in the natural world to show the differences. And it doesn't make religion wrong. Religion has a big part of our lifestyles out here in the human world. It gives us guidelines with some purpose to achieve, but so does nature, and we don't want to forget that. So, basically, what I'm trying to do in this part 4 is show you that there's a process through this gathering. It doesn't always have to do with things of value that have a monetary value. It has to do with our emotional values, has to do with sorting out what we're going to take with us and what we're going to let go to go to the first circle. Now, we've spoken about first circle many times. What does the first circle need? What information from your life that can contribute to the wisdom of evolution? What is your contribution? That contribution goes with your physical body as it breaks down and returns and becomes the fuel, the food for the insects, for the grass, becomes the fertilizer, becomes the oil, becomes the blood of the earth. It has to change into all these other forms. Just like your spirit is changing into another form, your physical body is going to change into another form as well. It's going to be part of the food chain as it contributes to the natural evolution. So, for us, when somebody leaves our world, they're not forgotten. We know they're part of the trees. We know they're part of the birds that come around to visit us. We know they're part of the insects, part of the flowers. They're everywhere in the season. They're not gone. They're always there. We just have to remember to see them in the other forms. Because if we can't, then it's a pretty mundane life without much mystery. That isn't life. You never know. Might be something to it. Go check it out, and hope you come back and see us for part 5.